No manners for friends. With people you don't know, you're super nice. Usually, or you should be the most polite with, because you don't know them. You don't know their life. You don't know what they like to joke about. You don't know what they've gone through. You don't know how their day's even going. That's an easy default to start with. The closer you are to people, the ruder we get. It's like the roommate etiquette, where it's like with your roommate, like you're gonna tiptoe around certain things. You're gonna be like, oh, if you get a chance, can you pick up after yourself or whatever. Whereas if that was your close friend, be like, yo, pick that shit up. Like, what are you doing? It's a little funny to me because it's like, ironically, technically, wouldn't you be nicer to the person that you're closest to? But in actuality, we're nicest to people that we have no idea who they are. We're not nowhere near friends with them, and that they get the best, I guess, etiquette from us. The people that you're closest with get your rudeness in form of like etiquette, but they gain the benefit of you actually being there for them and doing things that matter. And I think even sometimes this roommate etiquette does show itself in the close relationships. And this is where, for me, these are the parts that I don't like. I feel if we are incredibly close with each other, I don't ever want my closest friend to ever tiptoe around something that they truly feel they want to say to me or that I should know. For instance, been dating somebody, your friends like them, they don't really say anything about them. The minute you break up, they're like, oh, I saw that a mile away. I'm like, well, why the fuck didn't you say anything? Oh, I couldn't say anything while you were together. You wouldn't believe me. I don't want to start nothing, whatever. And while I recognize it's a super tough spot to be in, I've been in that spot before, but for sake of not wanting to be a hypocrite, I've had to bite my lip and go through and tell someone something that I thought was they needed to hear, because I'm a good friend and I'm willing to go through that period or that rough patch with a friend if at the end of the day it means that they are shown something that maybe they can't see. Because I would want that for me. If I'm dating someone, if I'm making a terrible decision, if I'm gonna embark on something that a dear friend of mine does not think is a wise idea, or comes up with something I didn't consider, I would want them to tell me, to snap me out of it and be like, yo, wake up. Like, wait a minute. Did you see this thing? Did you look at it this way? Or that person's crazy. Stuff like that. I want to know as soon as possible. Yeah, it might be a point of contention for a little bit, but is that not worth it to save someone that you care about from making a shitty decision? Sometimes I will get annoyed at some of my friends when they are hesitant from telling me something that they truly feel, because they're like, oh, I didn't want to say anything. It's not my place. It's like, well, if you're my close friend, my dearest friend, it is your place. It is your duty almost, because who else is gonna like step into that fire of the potential argument, fight, or whatever in order to save me? It should be my closest friends that are willing to go through that pain. If we don't talk for a couple weeks or whatever, if you're mad at me, I care, but I care less about that because I know we'll get through that. And because I care more about you making sure that someone pointed out that that's a terrible decision. If you love that person, you would want the best for them, even if it means a little rough patch between you two.